Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the real Cass Perry, and these are some Reddit stories that are going to make you just say, yuck. You're not going to believe these. So our first one is titled, I told my uncle and his wife that they should be embarrassed. Why should they be embarrassed? Let's find out. Why should they be embarrassed? I'm curious now. Am I the a-hole for telling my uncle and his wife that they should be embarrassed? Context. My uncle, mom's brother, okay, good to know, I guess. I don't really care whose brother he is. My uncle, mom's brother, and his wife are living with my grandparents. When they moved into my grandparents' condo, they claimed the bigger room and put my aunt, mom's sister, grandma's caretaker, and grandparents all in the much smaller room. Excuse me? No. My grandparents, being the selfless people that they are, never argued with them about it, in fear of my uncle. Oh yeah. My aunt didn't want to fight with him either. Also, due to fear and him being so mean to her since they were young. My uncle, in his late 40s, early 50s, maybe, and married his wife like 10 years ago. She never made any effort to build any kind of relationship with my family, so she's quite literally a stranger to me. Although living in my grandparents' condo and paying minimal rent, $600 including utilities, in the greater Boston area, they do everything in their power to make my grandparents' lives more difficult, and everything they own in the condo is labeled. Is labeled? Why is it labeled? The napkins are even labeled. This might be acceptable in an ordinary roommate situation, but these are his parents. Today, I went to visit my grandparents and immediately noticed an air mattress in the living room. I asked who was sleeping there, and my grandparents said that they were. Why? Because the room they have does not have a window that is compatible with their AC. There has been a heat wave bringing extreme humidity that has been very dangerous for many people. Once I found out that the room that my uncle and his wife had AC, they have just been allowing my 80-year-old grandparents to be sleeping on an air mattress, I got very angry. I wasn't expecting them to offer their room. I knew that they were way too selfish for that. However, I believe that my uncle should have gone to buy his parents an AC that was compatible with the window. My uncle was not home, but his wife walked in as I was discovering this information. She marched straight to the room without greeting anyone, as she always does. I'm not sure if it was just the situation today or years of built-up anger towards their selfishness, but I was done with just staying quiet like everyone else. I started saying how unfair and crazy it was to treat your own parents and in-laws that way, especially since they do so much for them. This prompted the wife to come out of hiding and approach where I was to say hi. She had ignored me every time I was over for well over a year. I could not put on a fake smile this time and blurted out, I bet you're comfy in that nice cool room. Are you not embarrassed that you are sleeping comfortably while two elderly people, my grandma was also recovering from surgery, are sleeping on an air mattress? She responded by saying, don't worry, we will be out so soon, then starts crying. This made me laugh. I will say I was an asshole for this, but I turned at her, mocking her crying. She dramatically stormed out, saying she's leaving out of this house. But she came back less than a minute later with my uncle on the phone. I'm guessing that she thought I wouldn't say the same to him, but I doubled down and I said that he should have made sure that my grandparents had AC. He responded with, "What gives you the right to say that?" Then says that my grandparents did that on their own. He didn't ask them to sleep out there. He kept mentioning how it was their choice and they volunteered to. Excuse me? Well, no shit. Their choices were hot-ass sauna room or cooler open space. After about 15 minutes of him yelling... After about 15 minutes of him yelling at my grandpa and my mom on the phone, he finally hung up. Later that evening, when I was home, I received a text from an unknown caller saying that I was a rude child and that my mom did a terrible job raising me. After looking up the number, it ended up being the wife's 28-year-old daughter. I probably didn't handle the situation the best. I don't think I'm the asshole. Who else would be okay with their 80-year-old grandparents sleeping on an air mattress in 90-degree weather? Honestly, personally, I don't think that anybody would be okay with that. And ew, what is wrong with your uncle? Your uncle needs to be locked up. Seriously, what on earth makes people think that it is even remotely acceptable to act that way? And these are your 80-year-old grandparents. Seriously? Get a clue. Like, I went up to my snobby cousin's phone model. Oh, this one's from one of my favorites. This one's from R-Petty Revenge. Oh. I, male 16, have a cousin, female 16, who always looked down on me and my family. We don't have much money and can't afford things like holidays or anything expensive. She has always gotten everything that she could ever want from her parents. We grew up together and she had made fun of me for this my whole life, even though it shouldn't matter in the slightest. When I was 14, my phone had pretty much stopped working and the screen would freeze and ghost tap often, as well as needing to restart to charge. I saved for a new phone for a year. At the end of the year, I researched a phone to buy. I like to take pictures, so a good camera was important to me. I decided that I wanted an iPhone 13 Pro Max, the same model as my cousin. I had never had an iPhone before, and this was around the time that the iPhone 14 released. I had a look, but couldn't afford anything more than the standard model, so decided not to, as they are basically the same phone. Yeah, that's a pretty good reasoning. I very proudly told her that I had saved enough to get a new phone, and she asked me what model I was thinking of. I told her that I was planning to buy the 13 Pro Max. She did that thing where she scoffed at the same time as holding a laugh while looking me up and down. I hadn't felt bothered about her doing this for years, but for some reason this peeved me off so much. When ordering my phone, I decided to buy the 14, not because it's better, but because I knew it would irritate her. And it was only a €10 difference, yes! It arrived a week later, and when she seen it, she looked peeved. She spent a while trying to convince me that her phone is somehow better and there's no difference. She didn't speak to me for a while, over a phone. Cousin smashed hers so that her dad would buy her the 15. She did not get the 15. I've still got my phone over a year later, and she's going strong. Best purchase ever. It's more petty than revenge, but petty is the best thing ever. I don't know why, I love being petty. As soon as I know that something's gonna piss somebody off, just because, for absolutely no reason other than they need to have the better thing. Like, as soon as I know that something's going to pee someone off just because I know that they want to have the better thing than me, I am going to automatically do something to try to upgrade something just so that they get annoyed. I am the type of person who has got the time. Okay. I actually don't have the time, but I will make the time. If I get that aggravated, if I get that annoyed by something, and it's been like such a long going thing, and I'm sitting there like, it has been years and you are still acting like a snobby little scheissehoffen. Let's figure out a way to fix this, shall we? We move in the shadows. Monkey business with a salesman. Funny story about my aunt that she loved to tell. Some 35 years ago, she had a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman come to her house several times trying to sell her a vacuum cleaner. Dude was relentless and quite pushy about it. After telling him repeatedly that she wasn't interested, the vacuum cleaner was quite expensive. She hatched a plan. What kind of plan did she hatch? What's the plan? Are you gonna? I want to know what the plan is. The next time he stopped by, she invited him in for the demo. She asked a ton of questions, all while acting silly, like dancing around the house while he was showing her the machine hanging upside down off the arm, off the couch, etc. After he finished the demo, which she said took about an hour, she took him... After he finished the demo, which she said took about an hour, she told him that she would take it. She said that the price was around $200. He was delighted that he was making the sale. Of course he was. That's an extra $200. And heaven only knows he most likely gets a commission, or they're already his vacuums. Anyway. She told him that she would be right back and went to get a towel and laid it on the floor. She then went to grab the large plastic monkey that she kept in the laundry room and lugged it to the living room. The guy was totally confused until she pulled the stopper out of the bottom of the monkey and started shaking change out. See, my aunt, a stay-at-home mom, did the laundry for her whole family. Her husband and 2 boys... They had a deal that any change left in the pockets was hers to keep. She had the monkey piggy bank next to the washer and would drop off all the loose change in it. She would save for a while and then spend it on a new outfit or a salon day. And it had been a while since she had emptied it, so she figured that there was at least a couple $100 in the monkey. My aunt emptied out the monkey on the towel next to the salesman, who just stood there in shock. She then told him that she would buy the vacuum cleaner if he counted out all the change. At the end of the day, she had a new vacuum cleaner, and he had to lug $200 in loose change out of the door wrapped in a towel. I have several fun stories about my aunt, but this is one of my favorites. Well, your aunt is a wonderfully petty person, and I enjoy that. So, next. Oh, there is no next one. Oh, I guess I only had 2 stories for you guys today. Okay, then. Should we try to find another one? Should we try to look for one? Should we try to find one? Let's take a look. Let's try to find a fun little story. Oh gosh. Okay, so I found one. Just a little one though. Just a little one. Just a little one for us. Just a little one. This one is titled, I Got Caught Shoplifting, and the cashier was a guy that I matched with on Bumble. Oh, let's read it. I know this is very, very bad. Like, terrible. I was with a friend and she kind of pleaded for me to go with her, so I obliged. Sales girls caught my friend shoplifting, and because I was with her, they dragged me along to their office too. And I took a pair of earrings. I realized that I knew the cashier, a guy who I matched with on Bumble months ago. He probably recognizes me, and it's terrible. I don't know what to do. I blocked him off of everything. It's so embarrassing. I feel guilty about the entire thing as it is, but I just needed to vent. Edit, I didn't get arrested, and they just recorded our info and banned us from the store. I know. I talked to my friend about this, and to be honest, the guilty conscience is already eating away. I'm in my late teens, and my friend is also in her late teens, but a tad younger than me. I can make up some lame excuse as to why I did it, but I'm not even going to bother sugarcoating it as to why I mentioned my friend in the first place. I am by no means trying to shift the blame onto her, but rather giving you an insight into my point of view. What I did was illegal and wrong. I take full blame, and I'll learn from my mistakes. This is R- confession. My guilty conscience is beyond overwhelming, and I know that this is karma giving me death threats isn't exactly putting out the fire. Oh my gosh, why would anybody do that? Okay, so first off, you can't say that your friend dragged you along when you were stealing things too. Why did you, if you were just there to be there, why would you take anything at all? You're a thief. Yeah. So, two things out of this, honey. You, my dear, need to act better. And your friend needs to stop hanging out with you because she is a bad influence, obviously. Even though you are old enough to know better, obviously. Seeing as you have stated that you know better and you are old enough to know better. I understand learning from your mistakes and such, but you need to stop making such horrible mistakes. And god damn it, if you're gonna break the law, don't get caught. I'm sorry, I do not endorse breaking the law. Don't break the law in general. But seriously, why would you do this, OP? This is not good. You could possibly ruin your life if you keep making dumb decisions like this. This is very, very bad for everything and everyone. But anyways, thank you very much for coming to this video and listening to me blather out some stories and probably stutter a whole bunch. I'm not going to be editing a whole lot in this one. I love you guys. You are all beautiful, wonderful people, and I will see you in the next video as always. Bye-bye. Mwah.